Hello, read it here. Today we're going to read a story from her / Am I the Asshole? Now, for our first story. Am I the asshole for getting up from my chair in the middle of Christmas dinner and shouting, "Shut the fuck up about my body, EI," in response to my husband's observation? So, ever since I had my son months ago, my husband has started making indirect comments about my body. He never says any hurtful words, but I find his observations, as he calls it, hurtful. For example, he'd see me wearing an old top and say, "Oh, that top used to look good on you, but not anymore though." Or when he looks at my waist and says, "Wow, didn't know your waist could get this wide." Basically passive stuff that I tried to ignore till it extended to friends and family. FYI, this went on for months and months and months. We went to Christmas celebration at his family's home. My sister-in-law complimented my floral maxi dress, and my husband said, "I agree it looks nice on you, though I have to admit that your waist could get smaller than this." Awkward silence took over. I was absolutely fuming, and this was my last straw. So I got up from my chair in the middle of dinner and shouted at the top of my lungs, "Shut the fuck up about my body." He was absolutely speechless as his family stared while some others tried to get me to calm down. But situation got more tense and dinner ended up being cut short, and my husband storming off to his friend's place to spend the night upon leaving a very nasty text saying I embarrassed him and made a scene over an observation he made. He called me childish and told me to get therapy for my insecurities instead of verbally abusing him and scaring his family. Now I feel like an absolute idiot asshole and like I ruined Christmas for him and everybody with my oversensitivity. Am I the asshole? Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. I think the last thing your husband really wants is for you to get therapy. If you do, you'll discover that he is an emotionally abusive bully and stop feeling guilty for refusing to put up with his BS. Not the asshole, but your husband is. Do as he recommended and get therapy so that you can regain the self-confidence he has eroded with his cruel observations. Comment 2. I 100% agree. OP should in fact text this back to him. Stop gaslighting me. You've been abusive and a bully. You need therapy to figure this out. Because if not, our marriage may be over. Comment 3. You notice how OP says that he calls them observations? OP is in denial. She told him that his comments were mean and hurtful, and he was like, "No, these are observations. You're unattractive and crazy." Then he continued to say them, and say them in front of family members to make it even more degrading and embarrassing. Comment 4. Reactive abuse, where they needle you till you lose it and then point and act surprised and hurt. This isn't a small thing, and it's unlikely to stop. Your self-esteem will be fine when you don't hear him being an asshole all the time. Now, for our second story. Am I the asshole for storming off from my sister's wedding after she dead-named my son? I'm a 45 IRO single father of 3. Their mom died 10 years ago. I have 3 sons, 17 IRO Andrew, 15 IRO Connor, and 14 IRO Max. Connor was born female. He is trans. He came out as trans 5 years ago and has now socially transitioned, not yet physically. My sister, 38F, just got married. Me and my sons were also invited. My family has known that Connor is trans for 2 years now. Some have adjusted well, some not so much. My sister is pretty indifferent about it. Her wedding was really super well organized to the last detail. She wanted all the men to wear shirt plus tie and then women's sundresses. I texted her a picture of our outfits the day before the wedding, and she said, "Where's Nia's dress?" I was a bit surprised and told her not to detonate my son and that he'll be wearing a shirt and tie like the rest of men there, or we aren't coming. She said fine, and that was it. At the reception, my sister got mad that Connor was wearing a tie, but didn't say much after that. When we sat down at our table, the card Nia, I went to my sister, and she said she used their real name. I told her me and the boys are leaving, and she told me, "Don't you dare cause a scene at my wedding. Nia can be a guy any other day." I called her a bigot, and we left. My family says I ruined her wedding. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. He could be a man any other day. What a ridiculous thing to say. Well, sister theoretically could be an asshole any other day, too, yet here we are. Not the asshole. Good on you for standing up to her in support of your son. Comment 2. Connor is a man every day. Went to bed yesterday a man. Woke up today a man. No one is calling into question whether or not Connor is a man except for the sister. And the only one making a scene of it is the sister. All she needs to do today, as she should be every day, is showing Connor a modicum of respect and not dead-naming him. Comment 3. Not the asshole. Long con idea, though she got married, right? She was Miss Smith, let's say. She's now Mrs. Jones, right? Conveniently forget the Jones and call her Smith. I mean, that's what you've known her as your whole life. So it's hard to change what you've called someone their whole life, even if they prefer you call them something else. Comment 4. I have a friend that whenever someone pulls your birth certificate says, male name, though she just says, yeah, it also says I'm 7 pounds. Lots changed since then. Now, for our third story. Am I the asshole for telling an employee she can choose between demotion or termination? I own a vape shop. We're a small business, only 12 employees. One of my employees, Peggy, was supposed to open yesterday. Peggy has recently been promoted to manager after 2 solid years of good work as a cashier. I really thought she could handle the responsibility. So I wake up 3 hours after the place should be open, and I have 22 notifications on the store Facebook page. Customers have been trying to come shop, but the store is closed. Employees are showing up to work, but they're locked out. I call Peggy and get no response. I text her, same thing. So I go in and open the store. An hour before her shift was supposed to be over, she calls me back. I ask her if she's okay, and she says she needed to take a mental health day and do some self-care. I'm still pretty pissed at this point, but I'm trying to be understanding as I know how important mental health can be. So I asked her why she didn't call me as soon as she knew she needed the day off. Her response, I didn't have enough spoons in my drawer for that. Frankly, IDK what that means. But it seems to me like she's saying she cannot be trusted to handle the responsibility of opening the store in the AM. So I told her that she had 2 choices. 1, go back to her old position with her old pay. 2, I fire her completely. She's calling me all sorts of ist now and says I'm discriminating against her due to her poor mental health and her gender. None of this would have been a problem if she simply took 2 minutes to call out. I would have got up and opened the store on time. But this no-call/no-show shit is not the way to run a successful business. I think I might be the AH here because I am taking away her promotion over something she really had no control over. But at the same time, she really could have called me. So, Reddit, I leave it to you. Am I the asshole? TLDR, things turned out well for everyone involved. Peggy reached out to me yesterday, apologized, and asked if we could meet for lunch. We met up, and the first thing she did was apologize again for the no-call/no-show, and also for her reaction to my response. She admitted that she knows I'm not sexist or ableist. I'd DK if I spelled that right. There's a red line under it, and explained that she was lashing out due to her mental state. I accepted her apology and offered one of my own, both for giving her too much responsibility too quickly and also for reacting out of emotion. She explained to me that she had a major issue on Monday, and without getting into too much detail, I'll just say that it was the anniversary of a bad thing. She's taking all of her accumulated PTO, 9 weeks, and we've agreed that going forward, I'm not going to put her on the schedule on that day ever again. She's admitted that she's not up to the role of manager. When she returns, she will be in the role of lead cashier, a role I created specifically for her. This way she can keep her raise and not feel like she got a demotion, but rather a lateral transfer. I've also let her know that if she ever feels like she's up to more responsibility, she can let me know, and I'll put her right back on track for the manager spot. I've also let her know that if she's ever in a position where she's not able to call out, she can simply text me a thumbs down emoji, and I will accept that as notice that she will be missing her next shift. She's agreed that that will be okay, even when she's out of spoons. I want to specifically address the folks who explained spoon theory to me, as well as those who commented about Peter Principle. Those 2 types of comments very heavily influenced my actions. I was able to better understand both her issue and my own failures as a leader because of those comments. Hopefully we can both move forward from this unfortunate incident and end up better for it. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. We love a good outcome on this sub, especially when both parties communicate what's going on and they're listened to. Comment 2. Not even, people will still find a way to call someone an asshole. I was once called one for having a serious discussion with my then BF about the future I wanted, marriage, kids, jobs, etc. And I was told I was an asshole for manipulating him into staying with me. All I said was I wanted kids, and if he didn't, I totally respected that, but I don't see how a relationship would work. He agreed that he wanted kids, because he actually did, and praised me for being so direct. Yet several people still thought I was wrong for that. Comment 3. You're like the best boss ever. I could die and my boss would pull out a Ouija board and ask if I got a replacement. Can I work for you instead? Comment 4. No kidding, 9 weeks of PTO for working at a vape shop? Sign me the fuck up. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more.